So hi everyone, it's Rick here at Zedsphere, and today at Zedsphere HQ we're really lucky to have Craig Abussi in town. He's paying us a visit, and we thought we'd have a chat because Craig's really embraced the use of the Untangle Next Generation Firewall at his business Abussi, and we were hoping to pick your brains, Craig, a little bit and kind of see what you've been doing with that and stuff. So
sure.
Yeah, why don't we start off and just kind of let everybody know a little bit about Abussi and you as the managing director there and what the business does, and a bit of background would be good.
Yeah, well, it is a standard phrase I use at networking events, but Abussi Limited is a company name, nothing to do with Chris Abussi.
Yeah.
But I have stalked him on Twitter a little bit, and I have met him.
Yeah, really?
I have, yeah. I've got.
Did you tell him that you've got a company called
I walked
Abussi?
towards him and he saw my lanyard and went, "You're the bloke from Abussi." Because
Right.
he'd never seen anyone with a similar name, and he thought maybe I was taking the mickey on Twitter or something, but it's a genuine name. Abussi.co.uk, you can go and look it up. So there was a bit of an affinity there, and I had a photograph with him. He's a lovely bloke. But yeah, our business is very typical probably to the viewers today. MSP provider, Birmingham based, outsourced IT services to companies usually between 5 and 50 users. So hopefully we're in a space that's very similar to many of the people watching today. We try to provide a wide range of services, hardware, network, internet services, security, as we'll talk about in a moment. And we've been going for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of knowledge in providing services to that environment, and more importantly, how it's changed over the last sort of 5 years in situations around security.
So we were chatting just before over a cup of tea, and we were kind of getting into this conversation around how, there's quite a lot of MSPs out there that their day-to-day jobs to be done list is just about fighting fires and addressing the challenges that are coming up on a daily basis, and kind of like thinking about security from a more strategic perspective, perhaps when it comes to talking to the MSP's customers, is something that's slightly something they need to think about.
But it's low down on the agenda at the moment. That's the problem, and it needs to be brought to the fore. I mean, ultimately, I appreciate that most of the viewers here are firefighting on a daily basis. It's kind of the nature of the work. Everyone in our industry talks about being proactive, and that's absolutely true. We're proactive in patching computers. We're proactive in making sure things are running correctly. We're proactive in identifying hard disks may be about to fail, and we get and replace them quickly. The challenge that you have with security is it's not top of mind of your customer, and so the challenge that you have is that when the customer doesn't think it's that important, they don't want to talk to you about it, even if you raise it in a meeting, which I've done many times before.
And why do you think that, despite the proliferation of ransomware? I mean, I think it was November, there was WannaCry with the NHS and that kind of thing. Why is it that it's still sometimes difficult to have that security-focused conversation with customers, do you think?
I think 2 words for you: antivirus.
Right.
What I mean by that is every customer just thinks, well, I've got some antivirus software, that's enough.
Right.
I've got McAfee, I've got WebRoot, I've got whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So in a way, a lot of the work that MSPs are doing now, where they have the greatest level of success, is education. Nobody set out to be a teacher, and I'm not advocating that we all start providing online courses for our clients, but it's about educating clients, as we do, to say antivirus is not enough. It used to be the be-all and end-all, and now it's just not enough. It's about unified security. It's about pulling together 3 or 4 key elements, antivirus perhaps being one of them, but at the perimeter of your client, at the perimeter of your client's business, it's about having a device that's doing more than just being a router or a gateway. I'm a great advocate of Draytech products, and 5 years ago they were considered an upgrade to what you would normally have as a kind of a D-Link router or whatever, and they were considered very good. But for us now, Draytech router is it's a basic product, it's an entry-level product. It gets you on the internet, but it doesn't really do an awful lot else. The security element needs to be a lot more beefed up.
Right, okay. So there are solutions out there for this unified threat management kind of approach, and obviously you've been a a massive advocate of Untangle for quite some time, actually.
Since 2008.
Right.
When I went to America and met the people who were running the Untangle business at a conference in Atlanta. So 10 years by definition this year.
Yeah.
We've had an awareness of and used the product.
Yeah. So you've actually got live deployments at the moment. You were showing us on the Untangle Command Center just now that you've actually got quite a lot of customers actually using the Untangle service.
Yeah. We have a number of them. I think for want of a cheesy line, that the thing that really appeals to me about the Untangle product is they talk about it being a complete product. And when you look at other services, well-known appliance vendors, I shan't mention them by name, you see the product that they're offering and it looks very enticing. But what you then find out is that some of the really nice features, some of the things that would really make you be interested in that, are extras.
Oh, so you've got to pay more for those.
So there's a little subscription here, a little subscription there. All the niceties are kind of just beyond reach of that entry level price, just the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Untangle product, when it talks about a complete firewall, it really is complete. All of the really nice elements that you would like are included. If you don't mind, I just mentioned one of them, which I think is really helpful, which is an anti-phishing module, which continually talks back to Untangle HQ, who are doing live monitoring around the world of threats and issues. And if an end user, clicks on a link that's going to take them to a website that's known as a recognised phishing destination where you would be asked for usernames and passwords, the firewall just won't let you arrive at that website.
Right.
Just won't let you get there.
Yeah.
It blocks you and says, I'm sorry, but this is an inappropriate site.
Yeah.
Now think of the value to an MSP. If we go back to what we talked about earlier about firefighting, how many MSPs watching this have had a call from someone at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning to say, I think we might have just had a user gone and entered our admin username and password for our mailboxes into a website. Straight away you're firefighting for the rest of the day, if not the rest of the week. So the preventative element I spoke about comes back from, well, if you'd got this product in place, if you've got Untangle in place, they wouldn't be able to get there in the first place.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that's just one of about 15 modules within the product, which I think has some real value to the end user.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest kind of sales and marketing challenges for MSPs is that, I think the thing that we find as a cloud solutions provider working with, several hundred MSPs is that most MSPs are actually set up by techie guys, and they love looking at and talking about technology. And something that MSPs are always working hard at is how do you convey the benefits of that technology to a customer? What are the real life benefits? And when you can say, that example that you've just given about phishing is a perfect example, isn't it? Because that's a real life issue that not only is going to have a massive effect on your end user if you're a managed service provider, but also, like you said, you're going to be flying around trying to sort that out for
it's going to take resources out of your business. It's going to take resources. In 60 seconds I can give you a split down the middle conversation about the product, which is, let's talk MSP tech. It's a great product. It has a central command center. You have full visibility of all the devices out in the field in real time, giving you data about throughput, allowing you to update policies, allowing you to see which users are logged on. That level of visibility for all of your devices in a central location is remarkable for the price point of the product.
Yeah.
Therein lies a break. Now, let's be honest, your end user does not care about what I've just said. They do not care.
Of course.
They're not interested in how you manage it or the level of flexibility it gives. What you should do when talking to the end client is saying, when you have a suspicion about a user and you're not really sure whether they're utilising their time particularly well, in the past we've not really been able to provide you with information about their online browsing activity and things of that nature. But with this product we could. Would that be of interest to you? So there's one angle. Number two, phishing. Would you be interested in a product that would pretty much stop the potential of you losing vital security information by a user clicking on a link and being fooled into visiting a website? There's another angle. So I think when you as an MSP owner are looking at it as a product for you, you look at it through a tech perspective.
Of course,
But that's the worst perspective to then go and talk to the customer about. find examples where they could be induced into kind of going, oh yeah, actually I could see how that would be a real problem. And it is a joke, but I'll mention it anyway. You know, most of the time the best day to sell security solutions is the day after someone's had a security problem.
Of course, yeah.
And what you want to do as an MSP is make sure that that day doesn't come because you've tried to preempt it in advance. And we're not talking huge money here for the product.
Yeah, and which brings me on nicely actually to my next question is,
Yeah.
you know, you're a managed service provider, and I think you bill your customer. The model that you use is you use a monthly recurring billing model, don't you, for your clients? So, you know, what kind of, you know, forgive me if I'm asking any confidential information here, but you don't have to give everything away. But, you know, how do you bill this solution to your customers? You know, what kind of model do you provide them with? You know, what's the commercial kind of?
I think if you're looking at the Untangle model, you firstly have to deal with the appliance.
Yeah.
You've got appliances that suit particular client brackets, so you know 25, 50, whatever. And I think you've got a conversation to be had with the client about whether they want to purchase that up front and just pay the money and there you go. And again, the standard NG25 appliance, which is a brilliant self-contained product, is no more expensive than a high quality sort of Draytech router, you know, to outright purchase. So it's not as if you're having to spend £500, £600, £700. You know, it's a couple of £100 for that product. And then what we do is we bill them on a monthly basis for the actual software license.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
you can do it on an annual basis, but everything that we do is monthly.
Yeah.
You can buy Untangle monthly, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And therefore you have a lovely invoice at the end of every month which is itemised that talks about service you're providing, mailbox services, security services, in this case Untangle, and so on and so forth. And I just think it works really nicely. What some MSPs do, and we have toyed with, is just buying the product, buying the appliance up front and absorbing the cost of that over the first 12 months of their subscription. So effectively, whatever the Untangle subscription that you would want might cost you, you buy the appliance and just add maybe 25% to that cost, which means you've spread its purchase over 12 months.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Final thought on Untangle for an MSP? Anything that you think is useful that maybe we haven't spoken about?
For me, security is really important and it's really hard to talk to customers about. But I think you have to. I think it's important that you go and talk to your customers and say to them, this is a really serious issue. And that with Untangle, you've got the opportunity to provide them with a fully complete product that ticks all of the key boxes. You know, the sonic walls and the watch guards are out there and they've got data sheets that say we do this, this, this and this. In any kind of marketing tick list, Untangle has more ticks in it.
Sure, which is,
And I think that's really the key, which is just look at Untangle as a viable alternative to those well-known products. You may not have heard of it, you may not know that it exists, you may not have explored it as an option, but we use it, we deploy it in the field, and it is a really, really brilliant product.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Craig.
No problem.
So if you've been watching this video and you're interested in learning a little bit more about Untangle, there's some really good news actually. Untangle have actually now kind of officially entered the UK MSP market and have partnered with us here at Zedsphere. If you're not familiar with Zedsphere yet, we're actually a specialist cloud solutions provider just for managed service providers. So we've got a portfolio of products here that are really tailored to MSPs, and we're really excited about Untangle now being part of our portfolio. So this video should actually be placed either on our website or on our YouTube channel, so there should be an active link that you can click through to extra data sheets and extra information and things like that. If you want to have a demo, that's also something we can help you with. We've got a dedicated cybersecurity specialist here, so feel free to get in touch. And all I can say is, Craig, thanks for coming along.
Pleasure.
And thanks for your insight. It's always good to talk technology with you and talk things about all things MSP. So until next time.
Lovely, thanks very much.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Cheers.